Welcome to the beautiful city of Leeds. You have to be very careful if you drive a car into Leeds city centre these days. The City Council seems to have been proud to have introduced bus gates throughout the city centre. If you drive through one of these in your car, I think it's approximately a £60 fine. I think the idea might have been that you would have buses, ban cars from the city centre, and then people would arrive by bus. But in this video you'll see many buses, most of them empty, some of them with just a few people in. Just one of those things, I guess, in modern times. But that advice over. Here we are walking through Leeds Market, and just to say that we have driven a car into Leeds this morning. It was an extremely stressful experience, the first time that we've done it for several years, avoiding these bus gates. Leeds Indoor Market is one of the surviving examples of a continuing market from Victorian times. This is one of the best markets in the northern UK, I think. And here the outside market is just setting up for the day's trade. There's almost everything in Leeds Market. The only difficulty is if you're several miles out, now it's difficult to get in. I guess if you've had a car for many years, it's difficult to suddenly decide that you'll stand out in the rain and get a bus. Here are the buses that are coming into Leeds, virtually empty. These are the old diesel buses. They're being supplanted currently with battery electric buses. This is the Hedgerow in Leeds. Cars have been banned there for many years. Street those buses are coming out of, there's a bus trap just up there as well. Bus gates, we call them bus traps. It's now just over 5 years since the end of the COVID pandemic and the lockdowns, and at that time I thought Leeds, you can just see there behind that bus, that's one of the bus gates we got caught in a few years ago. It survived the COVID pandemic really well, I thought, and it opened up almost pristine, all the shops and everything. However, it seems to have changed since we were last here, several years ago. We've been on the train since then, which is a struggle on its own, but seems to have changed in the sense that we used to park in the Marion Centre car park, come out of there, out of one of the entrances, and there was a Marion Centre Costa Coffee. To our surprise, that had closed this morning and been replaced by a Pret a Manger branch. Down in Leeds city centre, very famous long-standing Starbucks had also closed. Can't help wondering whether that's caused by people like ourselves who used to drive into Leeds regularly in the morning, park the car, now having been caught in one of these bus gates. The City Council seems quite proud of them. That we're sort of, we just go here, we go somewhere else instead. If you're interested in buses, there are some beautiful buses, and there are some beautiful old antique shops in Leeds. Just up there, there's a theatre on the right hand side. architecturally there's some beautiful buildings as well, so I'd highly recommend it. But here's a trip into a churchyard and a church. No one here. The city is deserted almost at this time in the morning if you go anywhere where there's a church. Beautiful but rather cool early July morning, Monday the 7th of July 2025, and air temperature was about 16°C. Walking out of the churchyard here, over there to the left is the Marion Centre with its car park. We'll be moving to the right and turning back down into the city centre. Here to the left we have the ring road, but we're turning to the right, and the back towards the city centre. That's the Grand Theatre. It does feel reasonably safe, this Leeds city centre, contrasted with somewhere like London, for example. There were lots of people walking around with their phones in their hands, which you certainly can't do in London these days without it being snatched. Even so, my wife felt unable to get her phone out of her pocket walking through these streets. Some of the famous old pubs, public houses. This is the top of the hedgerow. Another bus gate. The whole city is full of them. You've only got to do one wrong turn. It's £60. There's always the possibility, of course, that if you're in the car in central Leeds without satellite navigation, you might get lost and go through 3, 4 or even 5 of these bus trips at £60 each. Loads of diesel buses on a still morning in Leeds. I almost said Bridlington. In Leeds, it's allegedly been said that all the air in Leeds city centre has been through a bus engine at least 5 times on a day when there's no wind. Not just some sort of joke, of course. Architectural beauty reflected in windows. That's the second-hand phone place across there. Behind me is a branch of Curry's. Looking down the hedgerow now. It's probably a good place to live if you don't have a car in the city centre in one of these with these flats, loads of tall buildings with flats. You can go anywhere from Leeds City Centre. There's a bus station that would take you anywhere really, and of course it's on the Leeds London main line for trains. Very well connected is Leeds. And of course you've got the M62 motorway going east and west between Hull and Liverpool, and you can go further north of course up the M1 motorway, and it's about 200 miles down to London. Leeds has lots of these arcades, which were like a very early form of indoor shopping centre, in the sense that you've got lots of shops and you've got a roof over it, a glass roof. They really are beautiful Victorian arcades. There are several of them in Leeds, well worth a visit. Then you've got the more modern Victoria Centre at the bottom of town, but I prefer these old ones. Here is one, for example, the County Arcade. You've got to be very good on your feet if you come to Leeds these days. We were here for about 3 or 4 hours, paid £15 to park, at about 11,000 steps. Coming up is what used to be W.H. Smith's, is now been renamed as Jones. Very dark inside, I thought. I went inside, I said, "Is there a power cut?" I said, "No." Greatly reduced light, and it's going to come on in a minute. Just look how dark it is inside. This is the Packhorse Centre in Leeds. Again, a shopping centre. It's exposed to the atmosphere at all ends, so you get a wind blowing through it. That's fine. You'll notice there's nowhere to sit down if you're older. Don't come to Leeds if you expect somewhere to sit down if you're an older person, or someone who needs to sit down. I'm okay, I can walk for hours. But you can see, can't you? You can't sit. If you go to an indoor shopping centre, you've got seats, of course. This is coming out of the Packhorse Centre. There's an old church here. That's the old. Turn around, walk back inside, and you've got the Leeds Apple Store with M&S above it. Went to M&S above, expecting to be able to get a snack. The cafe doesn't open until 11 AM on a weekday, which tells you something about, is Leeds City Centre thriving? There you are, TJ Jones. Hope you enjoyed this video. Take care now. Bye.